Hey guys, we've got an update for you today in regards to the HSBC selecting Ripple XRP. Of course, they select the XRP. What else would they select? Oh my goodness. I'm here with Max today, as always, my good buddy, the man that makes it easy, the man that just makes it happen, collaborating with the Smoke Dog as well, just feeding us the alpha so we can bring it to you. Shout out to Smoke Dog. It's at Smoke Dog, and the O's are actually spelled with a Q. So it's SMQ. KE. So you just replace the O's with a Q, and that's the man feeding us a bunch of alpha. And Max, what do we have for our beautiful friends here today?
Well, just like Jesse mentioned, it is Smoke Dog feeding us the alpha once again, and I don't see any complaints about it. And even if there were, then something's wrong with you. Anyway,
We're gonna continue anyways. It doesn't matter.
right, yeah,
Sorry, guys.
yeah. Anyway,
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
let's pull this up. What does he have? Well, it's this. It's the whole, excuse me, it's the whole thing about XRP's token, right? Ripple XRP, the token, attractive for wholesale applications in domestic single currency zone context, where blockchain/DLT derived advantages, cost, speed, programmability, automated reconciliation can potentially be realized without the awkwardness of the digital asset fiat bridge. Checkmark. Now, this is cited from Zumo.tech. All right, let's zoom in about this and why it matters to you, because remember how we mentioned HSBC? Well, this is why we call it an update. Before we get to that particular part, you're going to see here where it says this. And it does give an honorable mention to even Stellar, so we definitely want to give Stellar their flowers. I am big up on Stellar. Stellar, I rank number 2 behind Ripple XRP and QNT. I have those both tied for number 1. Jesse and I share the same type of viewpoint on that for the most part. So in regards to XRP and QT being tied for number 1, I don't think he might not have Stellar at a different place, and that's okay. But again, give Stellar the flowers. So look at what it says here, everybody. While well-known projects such as Stellar and Ripple with his intermediary XRP token have focused on reducing the cost and friction to the minimum possible, having to bridge between the digital asset and the fiat worlds in this way undeniably brings conversion fees, time intermediaries back into the process. All right, look what it says down here. It says this makes it attractive for wholesale applications in domestic single currency zone context, where blockchain DLT derived advantages, cost, speed, programmability, automated reconciliation can potentially be realized without the awkwardness of the digital asset fiat bridge. Kind of already read that, but nonetheless, what about HSBC? Well, boom. Boil it, mash it, stick it in a stew. Mark Williamson, managing director over at HSBC, says we've got to solve this for CBDC's Rubik's Cube. And so what I mean by that is wholesale retail token base. I mean, think about who's it going to be really? I mean, come on. Account based domestic and cross border. On that, the other challenge we need to think about is from a primary market, secondary market, and foreign exchange and security service aspects. Now, I have to restate this again. I have to. Because again, people will point out, oh, he just mentions Ripple. Again, what does it say here? Intermediary XRP token. And on the first video, the part 1, we also show the receipts where it says XRP. So at the end of the day, ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, that's right. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. And ain't nobody got time for just hearing the whole narrative anymore about where it's just Ripple. Been there, done that. That's why we bring you guys this type of research. And again, that's major. All right. Here's why it's also major. Just released roughly 10 hours ago, depending on how soon you got the video. Speech from the Banque de France or Bank of France confirms the Euro system has committed to providing market participants with a wholesale central bank digital currency by 2026. Documented. That's interesting. Look at this. The BIS cites that. That's interesting as well. Get to page 2. What do we have? We have this. And it states specifically, Dennis Bowe, Fintechs and Innovation as a key to controlling our economic destiny. Speech by Mr. Dennis Bowe, first deputy governor of Banque of France at the Fintech Our Evolution Summit organized by France Fintech Paris, May 21st, 2025. That's major. All right, get into the other part of why it's major. On the next particular page, let's pull this up. Does it mention anything about what we're concerned about? Well, of course. Why wouldn't it? Well, it mentions here, the development of tokenized finance is currently being hampered by the lack of a secure settlement asset. Gee, I wonder what that would be. It says, at the moment, dollar-backed stablecoins, I know it's not highlighted, but I'm going to read it anyway. The dominant settlement solution for crypto assets are not governed by a protective federal framework in the United States, leaving users exposed to various dangers, including liquidity risk. Geez, I wonder who provides a solution for that liquidity risk. Of course, Ripple XRP, on-demand liquidity. The use of these assets also raises important questions regarding Europe's sovereignty over its monetary system, especially in its payment system. This is why Eurosystem has committed to providing market participants with a wholesale central bank digital currency, of course, by 2026. And where's the citation? It comes from page 3 of 4 of the Bank for International Settlements, Central Bankers' Speeches. So there you go. I mean, that's major. That's why we cite this. That's why we bring it to you guys. And that in itself, I would agree with some of these statements from the people in the community. Awesome find. Thanks for the sharing. Wow. Yeah. Absolutely blown away, as usual, with Smoke's findings. Your thoughts, as usual, Mr. Jesse of Apex Crypto Consulting NFA, bring in the alpha.
I try. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot, man. Hey, guys. Hope all is well. Yeah, so we see the CBDC wholesale and retail, right? And when Gilbert Verdian talking about the regulated liability network, he said we also partnered with R3, who is bringing in the shared ledger. And when you look at the regulated liability network documents that came from the BIS, you could see the 2 layers, which I showed in one of my videos. You see the 2 quant layers. You see one layer for the orchestration and programmability layer. The other one on top was the API layer, because he said we also provide the custom API. So he said provide the programmability and interoperability and custom API. So you see those 2 layers on that document. And then he said we partnered with R3, who is bringing in the shared ledger. So underneath the layer there, the 3rd layer, you saw that it said shared ledger, and it was R3. Okay. And within that shared ledger, you saw 3 different, they call them partitions, which is technically private ledgers, okay? Because the other documents are calling them shared/private ledgers. What did I tell you? I've been telling you guys that the CBDC, the XRP ledger, has private ledgers, and these are the shared ledgers, okay? Or you could call them unified ledgers the same as well if you want, because they have the same feature as the XRP ledger. But anyways, in this document, showed that the shared ledger had 3 partitions. One was a CBDC, one was a wholesale CBDC. The other layer was a retail CBDC, because it said R CBDC. That means retail CBDC. And then there was another bank, and it said like TD Bank. Okay, so it was another layer as well. And this is the same thing that we also see in the Hyperledger Foundation document, which they laid out the internal value, where he showed the XRP ledger being the global real-time gross settlement, and then on the side you had the CBDC ledgers, private ledgers, and then attached to these CBDC ledgers you had the retail CBDCs. Okay, so what they're talking about here, and of course FX cross-border, that's Ripple, right? Because when they say cross-border, they mean FX. Cross-border, when they say cross-border, they dumb it down a bit, so people don't realize this is FX. This is going from one currency or one asset to another asset. It's more than just cross-border. It's not like when they say cross-border, it sounds like you're just going across the border with money. It's not just crossing the border with some money. Okay, you're going from one currency to another, and it's to fix the liquidity crisis. It's to go from one asset to another instantly. It's to remove the need for the US dollar as a global reserve currency. It'll still have its role and so on. There's still going to be some currencies that are going to play a big role, or they'll still be pretty big currencies. But it's to fix the problem with the Triffin's dilemma. And of course, it's the new special drawing rights of the IMF. Like I said, that's the goal here. The XRP ledger, the XRP is the new special drawing rights of the IMF. And then the document talked about lack of secure settlement asset. There's a lack of secure settlement assets, lack of settlement assets that are secure. Isn't that interesting? What is XRP? What is Stellar, right? And then you've got Quant, of course, providing the interoperability, programmability, and all that good stuff. So, and HSBC, well, yeah, they're a partner of Ripple, and it just keeps surfacing and surfacing. We keep seeing that in documents coming out, and just like many other banks, pretty much all of them. Technically, but they're trying to hide it from us as best they can. But with guys like Smoke, it's hard to hide it, right?
Guys, simply do us a solid if you listen to the entire outline and type in this key word into the comments, because it really helps us, gives us feedback. Again, if you listen to the whole thing, and type in HSBC, and we'll know that you listened to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and the brother Jesse over at Apex Crypto Consulting NFA, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. We will see you on the next one.
See you guys.